Hi, Antaleena. How are you?
Hi, Sonia. I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Welcome back to DogSpot live sessions with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, it's a
Are you
pleasure to
able to
have
hear
you.
me? Can you hear me all
Yeah,
right?
I am. Yeah, I can hear you
Okay.
all right. Yeah. So we'll start with introducing you. And so, everybody, Antaleena that we've got with us today, she's a pet care consultant and a puppy training professional since over 10 years, around 12 or maybe 12 plus years. And she's based out of Bangalore. And since she's a puppy trainer, what we're going to do today is gather as much information as we can to know what all it is that one needs to be careful of or be mindful of when we're deciding to get a puppy at home. So over to you, Antalina, and please share everything that you can.
Thanks, Sonia. Thanks for the intro, and thanks again for having me. Yes, I've been. I was born and brought up with dogs. My parents are big dog lovers, and
Hmm.
whatever I'm able to do today is because of their support. They support me throughout, even now. And I'm currently engaged with. I am with Anvis Inc. And I am a puppy trainer with them.
Uh-huh.
I'm also a pet care consultant with them.
Hmm.
So I'm having a good journey. Apart from what I do with dogs, I have a job with a corporate.
Okay.
But yes, but we're here to talk dogs today. So let's discuss about what one should be mindful of or be prepared for before getting a
Yeah.
puppy home. Okay?
Yeah.
Assuming one has decided, decided or identified the puppy that they're bringing home, and a day or two before bringing the puppy home, they want to be prepared, or even before a week before or something. They must prepare, right?
Hmm.
Uh,
Right.
and I'm only hoping that their decision of bringing home a puppy is not just theirs, but the entire family's.
Right.
That's because I can vouch for this, right? When your family is with you in taking care of the puppy, it becomes way easier. Otherwise, you
Hmm.
tend to get really overwhelmed with everything that you have to do for a puppy. It's not an easy job for sure,
Right.
right? So to begin with, I mean, the simplest things are, picking up bowls for the puppy, picking up, a bed if you would like to, mandatory stuff, obviously, bowl, collar, leash, right?
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
you want to pick up a crate or a pen, I will tell you why that's important in a bit. Pee
Yeah.
pads, you get sanitizer sprays, you definitely need a small towel, a bit of a cotton roll and stuff for your puppy for sure. Uh, these are the accessories, right? Which you
Right.
can pick across a store, I mean, across a counter in
Hmm.
a store.
Yeah.
But what else do you have to prepare? You definitely have to prepare your home for the puppy, right?
Hmm.
The very first thing you do is you puppy proof your house like you would do for a human baby.
Hmm.
You take everything from ground zero to level one, and as your puppy grows, level two, and as your puppy grows, level three.
Hmm.
And if your puppy is outgrown it, you bring them all back again to ground zero. So first things first, puppy proof.
Hmm.
Again, if you have balconies with large gaps, it's just preferable to have a net there, just
Hmm.
in case you use the balcony to potty train your puppy and stuff like that. So puppy proofing is absolutely important because, again, when your puppy is really tiny, when you bring your puppy home, you have too many things to manage. You don't
Yeah.
want an additional problem of the puppy ingesting something and
Hmm.
falling sick. So be very, very careful, especially plastic, right?
Right.
Plastic, floor cleaners, brooms, and whatnot, right? So please make sure that you puppy proof your house before your puppy comes in, and don't do it after, because I can guarantee puppy proofing will be needed.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the second thing. The
Hmm.
third thing is identify spots in the house that you want to give your puppy.
Hmm.
Your puppy needs a place where they can sleep. It's better to have a dedicated space for that, a space for people, a space where the puppy is allowed to roam around freely, like a play area kind of a thing. So, make sure you have a map of your house of where the puppy is
Right.
going to be, right?
Right.
And when your puppy is really small, make sure these areas are not too far away. Like the sleeping area is not too far away from the area that you want your puppy to pee or poo, because your tiny little puppy cannot really travel a long distance to relieve itself just yet, right? Their bladder is really tiny and they need to do it every now and then. So make sure it's close by, but do
Okay.
demarcate areas like sleeping area, toileting area, play area, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. I'm going to take a pause here, right? Is there something you want to ask me? Because a little birdie told me that you're planning to bring home a puppy too.
I'm thinking and planning, just yet to cross the border over. But yeah, so
Uh-huh.
is there an ideal age you would suggest to bring a puppy home?
Very good question. Yes. We always recommend that you bring home your puppy at only after they're 3 months old, if
Okay.
possible, as much as
Mhm.
possible, right? Push the boundary as much as possible. These days, nobody holds a puppy for 3 months for sure,
Yeah.
uh, unless it's an adoption, right? But
Yeah.
if you can, leave a puppy with its mother for as long as possible. Because
Hmm.
a puppy needs all the nutrition from the mother's milk, plus
Right.
the weaning out process, and then the puppy learns a lot of life skills from its mother, right? So you will get a way more manageable puppy if you leave the puppy longer with its mother than when you bring home a 30-day-old or a 45-day-old puppy, right? So
Okay.
I would request whoever's watching to, if you are planning to bring home a puppy, or try and push the days as much as possible,
Hmm.
and make sure that the puppy is with the mother as much as possible. So yeah, 3 months is standard. I think
Okay.
anybody and
Ideal.
everybody in the pet industry would say that yes, 3 months is
Mhm.
ideal. So try and push it as much as possible. Uh, yeah, so that's an ideal age.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, and the next thing, I mean, we get a lot of questions, and I see a lot of questions floating around on social media as well about, I've got my puppy home. What do I feed my puppy? Right?
Right.
What should I? And everybody is confused about it, right? So
Yeah.
the best thing to do is find out from wherever you're bringing home the puppy, whether it's an adoption center or a breeder, find out what they're feeding,
Hmm.
right? And follow that same routine uh, for the next couple of weeks at least, right?
Okay.
Because you don't want to bring home a puppy, give them a new meal, and then upset their tummy or make them sick, right? So continue with what the breeder or the adoption center was
Center.
feeding the puppy, and
Hmm.
continue that for a couple of weeks. The other thing
Hmm.
I definitely want to point out is when you're bringing your puppy home, please don't
Hmm.
rush. You're bringing your puppy home. You don't
Hmm.
have to go via the vet, right? Bring your
This
puppy
was my
straight
next
home.
question. Yeah.
Yes, bring your puppy straight home. You don't have to go to a vet. The first thing you pick up your puppy is because a vet's place, that there are dogs that are ill, and that have different kinds of infections and stuff that come into a vet's place, right?
Hmm.
So it is a hub of infection. You
Hmm.
really don't want to take a really tiny young puppy into a vet's place first, right? Bring your puppy home, let your
Hmm.
puppy settle in, you observe your puppy. If your puppy has health issues, then you go ahead and take your puppy to the vet, right?
Right.
Otherwise, till your puppy really needs vaccinations or really needs a health check, I don't
Hmm.
think you need to go to a vet, right?
Yep.
Because it is, I mean, many people do that. I mean, I know they're not aware of this, right? They think the first thing a puppy needs is a health check.
Yeah.
But that's not true. Bring your puppy home. Let it be a homecoming, not a via vet homecoming.
Hmm.
And the vet visit can wait, right? And
Okay.
then for 2 weeks, feed what the breeder was feeding and all of that, and then you can check with the vet about how the diet change should be, right? Usually,
Right.
vets and any trainer or nutritionist would recommend that you don't switch overnight, the
Yeah.
food I mean. You add little by little into the current food. So if you have 100% of the current food, you take away 5%, add 5% of the new food, continue that for a few days, and then you add another 5% of the new food and take away 5% of the old food, and you gradually transition into the new food, right? So definitely take your vet's recommendation or your trainer's recommendation for the food transition or what kind of food they should be having. But just for everybody's information, dogs are carnivores. They need meat-based diet because they get all their nutrition and protein from meat, which they don't get from the veggies, right? So please be mindful of that. Even if you all are vegetarians, there are a lot of options available, to substitute for you not being able to cook non-veg at home. So make sure you make use of that. There are a lot of options available these days, which is a big boon to people who are vegetarians and cannot feed their dogs a non-veg diet. So that's the other thing, right? So food, make sure you continue what the breeder or the adoption center is giving.
Right.
Now the next thing, right?
So also, sorry, since you were already discussing the vet part, I just thought I'll also think, which are the preliminary vaccinations that you think are important for a newborn puppy?
So there are 3 vaccinations, right? Your DHPPI and your rabies. So two different shots of DHPPI boosters. Then you have your rabies vaccination and a booster for that. So there are three.
And at what age is that?
I think they complete the vaccinations they start at about 6 weeks, and they complete it. They started up about 3 or 4 weeks, and they completed by 3 months old.
Okay.
By the time the puppy is 3 months old. So again, don't venture out with your puppy unless they're vaccinated. You must not go out. That is because you may not have other homes that have dogs, but you could have streeties, or you may not have streeties around, but you could have dogs in other homes, and their pee and poo could spread infection, or there could be other things on the road that could spread infection. So do not step out with your puppy unless they're vaccinated, and definitely do not have your puppy interact with other dogs till the time they're vaccinated, unless of course it's your own dog. If you have 2 dogs at home and you're sure of your dog vaccinated and all of that,
hygiene and everything.
Yeah. So but still it's better to be careful even if you have your own dog, because the older dog may be going out for walks and bringing back all sorts of bacteria and stuff with them in their paws. So it's just better to be careful, right? Okay. So the first 3 months, it's just better to be careful. Yeah. So that's that. And next thing is, so this is all you need to bring your puppy home, right? You frankly could pick up a couple of toys maybe for your puppy, but again, make sure it's not something that your puppy can bite into and ingest. Plastic is a big no. Right? So be very careful about what you pick. Again, we have great stores these days who can give you good advice about what toys are suitable for the age of the puppy.
What age and breed, yeah.
Yes. So so now you're set to bring your puppy home, right?
Yes.
But again, even if it's the night before you bring your puppy home, sit back and think about what support system you have. Right? What do I mean by support system? If I'm living with my family, make sure your family is completely with you into taking care of the puppy, because tomorrow if you have to step out, maybe your family needs to take care of the puppy, right?
Yes.
Maybe you are late, and your family needs to feed your puppy on time.
Yeah.
So maintaining that routine for a puppy is very important. You can't be late for anything. So make sure if you are living in a family, everybody in the family is involved, everybody's sharing responsibilities, everybody's aware of what's supposed to be done for a puppy, what vaccinations were given, which vaccination is due, right? All of that, right? So make sure you have, if you're living with family, you have that support. The other thing, if you're not living with family, or if you are living with family, right? And or if you're living alone, and maybe the entire family
question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Make
Yeah.
sure you have friends or extended family who can help you when you need it. Right.
Okay.
And this, I would prefer that you have this conversation even when you're thinking about bringing home a puppy, right? Not
Right.
after you have decided or really brought one home.
Hmm.
Make sure you have
Right.
this conversation with your family, extended family, friends, neighbors, whoever, right? Whoever you are close to and know that can manage a dog. uh, Make sure you talk to them and really build that support system around you. Say you can't drive, right? And you need to rush your puppy to a vet, for example. These are all real life scenarios
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
easy to face,
Absolutely.
right? Make sure
Yeah.
you are aware of somebody in the building who's okay to give you a ride to the vet, along with
Hmm.
the dog in the car, or along with the
Yeah.
puppy in the car, right? So
Yeah.
make sure you have these jotted down. It may sound like too much of planning, but trust me, when it comes to it, it's quite stressful, right?
Yes.
So if you
Yes.
have all this planned right from the beginning, you will have an easy sailing. The other thing, right? Identify a good vet who is close to you,
Hmm.
uh, right? Because as a puppy, you don't want to be traveling long distances or too many hours to take the puppy to, or you don't want to be stuck in a jam to take a puppy to a vet, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
identify,
Yeah.
find out from people. I see a lot of these questions also floating around on social media as to, can you recommend a good vet around this place? Can you recommend a good vet around a locality? So if
Hmm.
you can gather a few names, find out about them, ask around, make sure you have some references, some trustable references about a vet. Don't just have one vet. I would recommend that you have two contacts of two, at least two vets, right?
Yeah.
So if one
Yeah.
is busy, you can go to the other. If one is shut, you can go to the other. One can be an emergency vet, one can be a vet who takes care of the entire treatment if required, right? So make sure
Right.
you have a couple of vets and you have good references of for those vets or good reviews for those vets,
Hmm.
because when you trust when you can trust the vet with your puppy's health, it takes away a lot of stress from your mind. uh,
Absolutely.
so that's the other thing, definitely, right? And then you must also have another support system, which again, we would like to educate people about, because we still see that there is scope of improvement there. The
Yeah.
other set of support system must be the uh, the pet sitters, home boarders or boarders, right? Who
Yeah.
can come in and step in to take care of your puppy when you are unavailable. Okay,
Yeah.
either you have to travel, or you have an emergency, or you have to step away to work for a few
Hmm.
hours. You can't leave a puppy at home for too long alone, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do not have anybody to take care of it, make sure you have contacts of good pet sitters who can come in while you are at work and take care of your puppy like their own. Feed
Hmm.
the puppy, do everything that the puppy needs as per routine while you're away at work. Very, very important, right? And
Right.
frankly speaking, we realized how important this service as a pet sitter is when we did pet sitters with Anvis, right? I mean, we have pet buddies who are pet sitters, and you won't believe it how many people actually we were not sure how this is going to go,
Yeah.
but people who take long hours at work, who are not able to come back for even dog walkers for that matter, right? People who are
Hmm.
not able to come back in time for their dog's bio break, they actually hire dog walkers to make
Yeah.
sure that their dog doesn't have to really hold their bladder and
Yeah.
gets their walk on time. So that's how important a dog's routine is. So please make sure you have these different blocks of support uh, for your puppy. It's very, very important,
Right.
uh, because raising a puppy again is no joke. You'll know
I
once
know.
you do it.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yes.
Okay, we have a few comments. We'll just quickly
Uh-huh.
go through these and then move to the next section that you're going to be covering.
Sure.
Okay. Anvesha says, hi, Antaleena, and hi, Sonia. Hi, Anvesha.
Hi, Anvesha.
Somebody says, Geo. Okay. Karthik Madhura says, I need a puppy for my home. So we've shared our website and the adoption link for it. Ravi
Mhm.
Kayast also says, can anyone help to adopt a Labrador puppy? Again, you'll have to, Ravi, you'll need to check. the adoption link we just shared. And Ravi also asks, what type of dog food brands should I prefer for a puppy as it grows? So this,
Again,
I think, like you said, should depend on what they were being fed already earlier.
yes. So it depends on the age. It depends on your puppy's health as well, right? Your puppy could be allergic to stuff and things like that. So, we cannot. I don't have a blanket recommendation.
Hmm.
Please, check with the vet as to what you can start your puppy on, and then you can get on to a nutritionist at a later point to really chalk out a nice diet chart for your puppy.
Right. All right, Ravi, we hope that answers
But Ravi, as
and
I
helps.
as I mentioned, that they are carnivores, so make sure whatever you plan, make sure it's meat based.
Yeah. On a lighter note, maybe not as light, but I've also heard, at least trending since some time, or it was till some time back, was that some vegetarians not only have vegetarian dogs, like they've not only had their dogs turn vegetarian, there are also vegan
Yes,
dogs now. So,
yes, yes. A lot of posts doing that round, right?
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Mixing up the two species.
I know completely, like humanizing a dog
Yeah.
beyond. Anyway, so yeah, coming back. So
So coming,
while
yes,
Yeah, so our first tick box is, of course, having ensured that we have an entire support system for the puppy, which is also a whole lot of things, but extremely important, like you just mentioned. Next, okay, so sorry, Sanjeev Vij is also here. Hi, Sanjeev. He asks, at what age can a pup begin to eat chicken and kibble?
usually puppies above 2 months old, you know, by the time they're 2 months old, they are put on kibbles by the vet. But you can
Right.
also, instead of kibble, start giving them, minced meat, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
Start with a little bit and see if that has any effect on the puppy's poop, right? If they're having loose stools or if they're having stomach upset, then you may want to quickly switch back. But
Yeah.
like I said, do the transition gradually. You can give a little bit of mincemeat with some broth and a paste of a pumpkin along with that and stuff like that. But make sure you mince it or you mash it up nicely when you give it for the first time, so that the puppy is able to, because puppies tend to swallow, and
Yeah.
if they swallow, they won't digest their food very well, right? So just to get their stomachs used to the food first, mash it up a little bit, and then as they grow older, you can start putting in chunks so that they can chew and enjoy their food.
Right. All right.
I hope I
Thank
answered your
you. Yes.
question.
Hope that helps, Sanjeev. Okay, yeah. So after the support system is in place, moving on
Yes,
to the accessories that you suggested we should have handy, we should keep handy.
yes. And in fact, with accessories, I always recommend pet parents to have two sets of leash and collar. That's because puppies have teeth, they're teething, they bite into their leash and collar all the time, right? So
Yeah.
always have an additional set in
Hmm.
case your puppy has bitten into the leash and collar and stuff like that, and continue this for a while, because your puppy is going to teeth for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not
Anyway,
only the leash that will be bitten or chewed off. You can
yes,
expect that with
exactly.
furniture and anything and everything that's in their reach.
Yes, exactly. So puppy proofing for sure.
Hmm.
And I also did mention a pen and a crate. People
Yes.
who and obviously your experts can guide you on how to use it. But a pen and a crate helps demarcate those spaces that I was talking about, right? A
Hmm.
sleeping space. It's a space where the puppy can calm down and relax.
Yeah.
Sometimes puppies don't know how to calm down, right? They're going to go crazy, 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 and that the level of craziness is only going to increase sometimes. That's because
As they grow.
you really don't know how to stop. So
Yeah.
you have to stop your puppy, and it's called giving them force rest, right? So you have to
Hmm.
force them into resting. So at
Right.
that point of time, a crate or a pen really comes handy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And any other accessories?
Like I said, toy. You can have a small towel to wipe your puppy down. Again, don't bathe your
Hmm.
puppy.
Hmm.
Until they're of age. Wiping
Yeah.
them down is a really not very damp, but a nicely squeezed towel is good
Hmm.
enough.
Hmm.
Your puppy will smell a little bit, but that comes with raising a puppy. So
Yes.
so don't use too much perfume or too many of those sprays and
Strong
stuff like
smells.
that. Yeah, so let your puppy be, because that could have, again, other kinds of problems that could lead to for your puppy.
Harmful
So
effects. Yeah.
yes, so have their bowl. Make sure the bowl always has water in it.
Hmm.
Make sure feeding the right quantity of food to the puppy, and
Right.
the number of times that your vet recommends you to. It's very important that they get their food on time and the right quantities, because these are the growing stages. It's Food is an absolute important aspect of the puppy's life.
Absolutely. And do
And
you have any, sorry,
collar, crate, toys, leash, collar, bowl. I think that's the basic stuff that you need to start
that
off.
one should have? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Howard Bailey says hello. Anirudh Verma has
I
had somebody. Okay, Sanjeev again asks, when is the earliest a pup can be bathed?
Usually we recommend after the 3-month age, right?
Yeah.
That's what we usually recommend. Until then, just rubbing the puppy down with a wet towel is good enough.
Hmm.
If you ask me, uh, like most of us, I think, who are in the pet care would know that it's not needed to bathe your puppy too often. Again, it
Hmm.
depends on the coat condition, on any skin issues that your puppy has. But if you groom your puppy, if you brush your puppy regularly, and make sure you're not actually going into, or your puppy doesn't enjoy slush. As long as
Yeah.
that's not happening, I think don't bathe your puppy on a weekly basis and stuff. It's absolutely not needed.
Not immediately.
Yeah. So
And
3 months, 3 months and above, Sanjeev.
okay. Thanks, Antalina. And would you have, would know, I'm sure you do, any opinion on people walking around with a puppy in their arms, especially out of the house? Is that advisable? Is it not?
Okay. So actually touching the puppy, picking up the puppy, it's good in a way that desensitizes the puppy to being
Yeah.
handled, which is a good thing. But again,
Hmm.
overdoing anything is not good, right? So
Yeah.
don't overdo it. Don't carry your puppy all the time.
Hmm.
There is, especially if you have kids in the house, and I've seen kids carrying puppies, right? Most
Yeah.
of the puppy is hanging and only the legs are in the kid's arm.
Yeah.
There is a particular way to carry a puppy which is safe, because
Yes.
puppies can be really restless when they're in your arms. So you want to make sure that you have a particular way to carry your puppy. Sorry, did I lose you?
Yes, we lost you.
Can you see me now? Can you hear
Yeah.
me now?
Yeah. 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 I
Okay,
can.
okay.
We
So,
can.
so
Hmm.
picking up a puppy if you don't hold the puppy in the right way, it can cause a fall. It can cause a
Hmm.
broken limb, right? It can be, even if it's accidental, it could be a problem, right, for your little puppy. Especially kids, please don't
Yeah.
allow your kids to carry puppy. Again, if a puppy is not carried in a proper manner, the puppy is going to turn around and try to free itself, and the only thing
Yeah.
the puppy knows, or any dog knows, is to use its mouth to free
Yeah.
itself, right? So
Yeah.
then and there, you're putting in a habit of nipping and biting. You're aggravating that situation. So
And rebel.
carrying a puppy around, definitely no,
Okay.
like
Thank
all the
you.
time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Not all the time.
And if you have a large breed puppy, and your puppy gets into a habit of sleeping on your lap, because I've seen a lot of that happen. Wait
Yes.
for a couple of months, your puppy's going to grow out of your lap, and you're going to have your puppy sit all over you and
Yeah.
smother you.
I have experienced that myself, so I know what you mean.
Yes.
Like there used to be times I would tell my dog Don that you're not a puppy anymore. He would just come and comfortably place himself on my lap. And I'd be like, mister, now you're a lot older, you're bigger in size.
And I'm sure he must be thinking, what are you talking about? I
He
haven't
wouldn't
heard
care. Yeah, he wouldn't care. He's like, you loved it earlier,
that's
now
my
what's wrong? Yeah, that's That was one of his spaces.
Yes, exactly. So remember that, whatever you do today is going to continue in the future. So whatever you do today, make sure you do it right, or you
Yeah,
think about the future and then do it.
at least before doing it. Totally.
Yes.
Okay. And how about preparing the space, like puppy spaces at home? You'd mentioned right earlier that it's very important
Yes.
to have spaces
Yes. So,
designated for the puppy. Yeah.
actually puppies like
We've lost you, Antalina.
am I
It's
back?
like, yes, you're back. Yes, we lost you after
Sorry.
you said puppies like.
Yes.
No, that's okay.
Puppies like cuddling up and they like dingy places and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
Dogs are den animals after all. So see if you can, make a nice, like put a table, put a chadar on top, or like a bedspread on top of it, and make a dark little spot for the puppy
Hmm.
uh, in a corner, and then there should be an area that the puppy can walk out into, and again, like I said, the pee pads and stuff, or the newspapers for the puppy to pee should be placed closer, where the puppy can quickly walk out of the bed and go pee there. So
Hmm.
usually, puppies, when they're left long enough with their mothers, right? They learn. Actually, this is one beautiful thing that they learn is they will never dirty the place that they sleep in.
Yeah.
If you notice, they will always, even when they're not able to walk, they tend to crawl away from the place that they sleep in and finish their business and come back.
Yes.
So this is again, the mother toilet trains them. The mother fixes a lot, to a great extent, their nipping habits and stuff
Hmm.
like that, right? So there are a lot of these good things that a puppy learns from its mother if they stay long enough with the mother. So puppies generally tend to not dirty the place that they sleep in. But if it's too far away for them to really go, and they don't understand where they have to go to pee and poo, they might land up dirtying their beds. So make sure the setup is a compact setup to begin with.
Hmm. Hmm.
4 5 steps, and the puppy should be able to reach the place where it wants to pee or poo. So
Yeah.
yeah, make it as cozy as possible for the puppy. And again, you might hear a bit of whining in the night because the puppy has been separated and is all by itself.
Hmm.
So don't get stressed about it. It's a part of bringing a puppy into your home, and it's a part of two species coming together to
Yeah.
coexist. So don't stress out. It happens with everybody. Make sure you don't really aggravate that whining by giving the puppy a lot of attention at that point.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Problem. Okay, we have a few.
Do we
We
have
have
more questions?
no question right now. Nartik Joshi says hello. Please say hello to him.
Hi. Hi, Nartik.
Yes.
Okay. So moving on, right?
Yeah.
One very important part of this entire thing, right? Oh, you've
Hmm.
prepared your home for the puppy. You've prepared your support system. You know who your vets are. You're absolutely ready for the puppy. But are you really ready? Are you really ready? Right? So preparing yourself for the puppy, right? That's one extremely important part of bringing a puppy home is preparing yourself.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is a puppy needs a lot of care, a lot of attention. And if you are a first time puppy parent, I would say, because a lot of people have had older dogs, but they've never raised a puppy. So if
Hmm.
you are a first time puppy parent, you need to observe your puppy a lot the first few days, right? Or the
Hmm.
first few weeks to really understand what the routine is, what's going on with your puppy, right?
Right.
Uh, you need time for that. You
Yes.
need time for your puppy's care. You need time to maintain your puppy's routine, right? And it would be good if you can do it and not outsource it, is
Hmm.
because then there goes your bond with the puppy, right? You know nothing
Yeah.
about your puppy in that case.
Yeah.
You'll have to call your pet sitter. You'll have to call, whoever's taking care of your puppy to find out basic stuff about your puppy when needed,
Yeah.
right? So it would be nice if you can make time, chalk out your schedule based on the puppy's routine, right? For example, I know we are all busy with work from home. For sure, everybody's gotten more busy than they would when they were going to work, because at least they had time and traffic. Now
Yeah.
traffic is suddenly, all of a sudden, all of us have started liking traffic, because at least we would listen to music in the car, right? When we're
Yeah.
stuck in
Do
traffic.
something.
Yes, but work from home or talk to a friend,
Yeah.
right? Connect with people. But
Yeah.
work from home has really made life a little busy for everybody.
Mm.
What I would recommend is, like, you block your calendar for meetings, block your calendar for puppy care, right?
Mm.
Block your calendar for your puppy's routine. Make sure you get up and do the stuff that is absolutely needed for your puppy. So prepare your schedule as per your puppy's routine. Again, use your support system. I'm not saying no,
Yeah.
but don't completely outsource everything, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, raising a puppy could be overwhelming, but it's a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
It gives you a sense of satisfaction at the end of the day, when your puppy grows up to be a nice chap or a nice,
Yeah.
beautiful little lady. Uh, but yes, do make sure that you are hands on with your puppy, right? Again, prepare yourself mentally to have maybe a few sleepless nights. Prepare yourself to clean pee and poo. Pee and poo will have a little bit of stink. Prepare yourself for
Yeah.
that. These are all practical stuff, right? I mean, you can't run
Yeah.
away from these things, and you can't really keep spraying things around to not have that smell.
Yeah.
So these are practical stuff that you actually need to prepare. Many people don't realize that, but these are practical stuff that you will go through, and that's why I'm calling it out. Is
Yeah.
people cleaning, feeding puppy, mashing things up and feeding the puppy, making sure the puppy is not eating things that it shouldn't, engaging with your puppy in play, observing your puppy, making sure you're taking the right calls for your puppy,
Mm.
helping your puppy be successful in everything that it does, including toilet training,
Yeah.
all of that. So yes, please invest time in your puppy and be hands on. Get your hands dirty. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think also being very careful about what all is there that is in the puppy's reach at home.
Yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
anything that can harm him or hurt him in any way should definitely be taken away. Like kept
Exactly.
anywhere else, but
Yeah,
taken.
and absolutely don't underestimate your puppy. Saying, वहां तक नहीं पहुंच पाएगा शायद, but you
पता भी
don't
नहीं
know.
चलेगा and पहुंच जाएगा.
Yes, the first
Yeah.
few months, they grow quite quickly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I
So
used to
yes.
measure my lab's height with the number of scratches I had on my legs. That oh now
Oh.
it's come a little closer to the knee, so he's growing tall. One day he managed to put like my shorts, the lower end of the shorts in his mouth, and like oh he's this tall now. So that's how I was like okay, this is like a height chart. My leg was his
Oh,
height
that's
chart.
a good way to do it. But yeah, again, you brought up an important point, right? Uh,
Hmm.
get ready for some scratches and some nipping. That is going to happen. It is a part of the puppy's growing up months, right?
Yeah.
It is bound to happen. Obviously, it can be addressed, but it is bound to happen. So be
Hmm.
prepared for these things,
True.
and be prepared to lose some furniture, lose some pillows, lose some clothes to the to the puppy's nipping. So yeah, prepare yourself as well.
Yeah. Like you suddenly have to let go of if you have any attachments with anything materialistic lying around in your house.
Yes,
You dedicated
absolutely.
it all to the puppy.
Yes.
Great.
Okay,
Okay.
so
And
yeah, so that's
huh.
about preparing yourself, and
Hmm.
uh, the with preparing yourself, there comes a very important aspect to a puppy's life and a pet parent's life,
Hmm.
which is training, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Many people may think it's not necessary. Many people may think, oh, maybe later, but it's always best to figure out a trainer even before your puppy comes home, right?
Right.
Because your trainer can help you through the entire process of toilet training your puppy right from the beginning. Before those bad habits sets in, you start training the puppy for good things, right?
Yeah.
So bad things were never there. Otherwise, there are bad things that the puppy learns, and then you're stressed, and then you want the puppy to unlearn that and then teach the puppy a new good thing. It's
Yeah.
as confusing and as mixed up, like the way I'm saying it, right?
Yeah.
uh, Puppy has started biting a lot. Puppy,
Hmm.
I'm not sure, has, not that the puppy started biting all of a sudden. The puppy starts biting from the time they start teething, right? They nip.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it would be great if you can actually have a trainer be by your side during the growing up months of the puppy, to teach the puppy the right things from the very beginning. The other
Right.
thing is, with training, you actually will fix rules in the house for yourself and the
Yeah.
puppy, which is
Yeah.
very important. If you look at their life in the wild, right? They have very strict rules amongst themselves, right?
Yeah.
Nobody can break those rules.
Yeah.
Similarly, when puppy comes home, and because two different species have to coexist, they have to build a way of communicating with each other, which in a trainer's language is through commands, right? You
Yeah.
use different commands. You use yes, you use no, you use words like sit, down, come, right? There are so many different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So that is the way you're communicating with your puppy. You have built
Right.
that. There is a huge gap, right? Dogs can't talk. It's a different species, and we process so much in our head that we humanize them as well. But
Yeah.
a training can actually bridge that communication gap, as well as it's a great way to bond with your puppy, right?
Hmm.
Your puppy
Hmm.
is now so happy that your puppy is understanding what you're saying, doing what
Yeah.
you're saying, and getting rewarded for it. Wow,
Yeah.
what a great life, right? What else
Yeah.
does a puppy or a dog really want in life?
Yeah. And
Doesn't
from
want to go
you.
to office, doesn't want fancy cars, doesn't need new clothes, right?
Doesn't
They
care.
don't even, yeah, they don't even fancy, new toys every time. They're quite happy with basic toys, frankly
Yeah.
speaking,
Yeah.
right? But they're not demanding creatures at all. Uh, but that's the thing, you need to build that bond with them. So
Yeah. Other
training will,
than,
yeah,
sorry. Yeah. Other than your time, attention, and affection and love, of course.
yes,
That's all they
yes.
demand.
Yes, right.
How
And again,
difficult is that?
training is a big part of your schedule, right? It will take
Hmm.
up your time, but do remember that bringing up a puppy takes only 1 year. Like,
Yeah.
if you can really put in all this effort in the first year of a puppy's upbringing, your
Right.
puppy is set for life, right? But
Yeah.
bringing up a human child takes about 15, 16, 18 years. So, comparatively, it's just 1 year that you have to invest in your puppy. So, we make this comparison to make it sound realistic, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, training will take up a lot of your time for sure. So make sure again that is you consider that while planning your schedule,
Right.
right? Make
In
sure you
fact,
make.
very interesting point that you've just shared, Antalina. Our next live session, which is day after tomorrow, is exactly on training a puppy. So we have
Excellent.
a trainer who's going to be coming and talking about different kinds of training. When do we need to start training and all of that, like all the essentials and basics of training that are important for one to
Absolutely.
know.
And when you're picking your trainer, make sure
Hmm.
your trainer is able to give you as much support as possible. Like, for example, we have a medical expert on our team. We have a
Hmm.
behaviorist on our team who can take care of any behavior issues. We have trainers who can teach the basic commands, right?
Right.
We have different formats, like online format, we have DIY format, we have, come over to our pet center and do classes with us. So
Hmm.
you should be, try and identify someone who can actually give you a wholesome support,
Yeah.
who can recommend who can recommend a vet, who maybe can recommend a nutritionist. So your trainer should be your go-to person,
Hmm.
and your trainer should have make sure your trainer has hands-on experience with training, right?
Right.
Uh, just reading up, or
Yeah.
online
Like you mentioned, even
online
for the vet.
yes, exactly,
Yeah.
right. A
Good to,
trainer
yeah.
must have hands-on training, should have worked with puppies in person,
Hmm.
training them and stuff like that. uh, you know um, uh, they should have a space, maybe, if they can help you with boarding, if they can help you with other activities like sessions on leash walking as they grow
Hmm.
older. The puppy goes through different stages in life,
Yeah.
and their behavior changes accordingly. Make sure your trainer understands that and is able to handhold you through those different stages of life, right?
True.
That's what we do with our customers, right? We are in touch with them constantly, and if they need anything, we have so many different formats to get in touch with them or teach them or help them out with their puppies. So make sure you identify a trainer who's able to help you with the overall growth with your puppy, has a good network of people who can
Yeah.
help you with other things if needed, and yeah, you should be set.
Absolutely.
I've
All
gone
right.
really, really basic and
Yeah.
stuff with this conversation because I don't want to overwhelm people with too many things. And trust me, you don't need more than this to really bring a puppy home.
Yeah.
Don't
Like
stuff your house
these
with.
are all basics covered, I think. Like if
Yeah,
we
these
can
are
put
just
like a,
simple, basic. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Like if we can just put a tick mark to each of these items that you were mentioning, like a checklist of sorts, I think then one's ready. You have
Yes.
your
And
support
then there's
system in place.
nothing to stress about. There is
Yeah.
nothing to stress about. If you can identify these support systems in
Yeah.
advance, then there is
Yeah.
nothing to stress about because we are actually, we are seeing benefits of that. We have pet parents who have, who contact us even before they bring the puppy home. And then we are
Hmm.
with them from the day or even 2 days before they bring their puppy home. We've
Yeah.
actually done video calls and they've shown us, we've set this up, we've set the pen up like this, we've put the crate there, is that okay, is this okay, and
Yeah.
that also helps you calm down. I
Yeah.
understand the excitement and the stress that a pet parent may have when they're bringing home a puppy, right, for the first time,
Right.
especially your butterflies in your stomach and all that excitement. But yeah, having a set, your support system built even before you bring home the puppy can help you start off on the right note.
Yeah. And then it'll be a happy journey thereafter.
Absolutely.
And you
Not a
will live
very
happily
long
ever
one,
after.
but yeah, like I said, prepare yourself for all the difficulties that come with it. But
Yeah.
that's a part of life, and that's a part of having a pet. So
Yep.
you have to accept it and just carry on with it. It's a matter of time.
Of course it is. And I think we end up learning a lot more from puppies and dogs
Yes.
than, yeah.
That's why I said you need to sit and observe your puppy, right? You'll
Hmm.
be amazed by how they figure things out on their own. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fantastic to see that, just sitting and watching them do it. So that's why I thought it was important to mention that as well, because people who have done it know the joy of it.
Yeah.
I have raised puppies, so I know how much joy it brings. So I just wanted to share that with the rest of the people here
Yes.
watching
And
us.
thank you so much, Antaleena, for sharing your knowledge and also preparing us and giving us tips on what we need to do when we're preparing to get a puppy home.
My
And
pleasure.
thank you once again. And we'll soon catch up on another session with something more interesting or something additionally interesting to talk about.
Absolutely. And happy puppy parenting to everyone.
Yes, happy puppy parenting to everybody. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.